Hi there, I'm the Rancor and welcome to Jay's Toy Collection UK. Thank you to the Rancor, and yes, welcome to Jay's Toy Collection UK. And today is all about the galaxy far, far away. We're going right to the Outer Rim. We're having a look at the Star Wars collection, but we're not actually here for the Black Series, so that is just a tease. We're actually here for the much smaller scale. As we go to the ceiling there, we are here for the 3 3/4 inch items. We are here for the return of the Jedi Collection. So I'm going to dedicate this video, of course, to NJ Devsvan on Instagram himself. It's Mr. Kurt K, the inspiration behind the Star Wars 3.75 vintage collection. And here is the display then. So a few months ago, you may have seen my unboxing video of this piece, the Boba Fett throne room, or as I call it, Jabba's palace. So I have got that, and it is eagerly awaiting Jabba the Hutt to take its rightful place at the front there. So I have shrunken down from 6 inches all the way to 3 3/4, and this is what I've put together. So I always said I would never collect 3 3/4 inch Star Wars, but of course that turned out all these years later to be a lie. So they've been doing some really cool pieces in the 3 3/4 inch scale, so I thought it was finally time to jump on. So I set myself a rule, a bit of focus, that I would only go for my favourite Star Wars film, which, as you will see here, is Return of the Jedi. So the HasLab failed for the 6 inch Rancor, so that was one of the first pieces I picked up, was the 3 3/4 inch Rancor, and it used to live with the Black Series, but with the announcement of that palace and that Jabba the Hutt, I couldn't resist any longer, and I started building this collection. So the main focus is now to show you what I've actually put together over the past sort of 4 months that I've actually been collecting this line. So we'll start over here with my custom piece. So I've tried a bit of diorama making. So I've gone for Endor, of course. So we're on the Battle of Endor. What do we have then? We've got some Ewoks on the Ewok village. So I did buy some classic vintage Kenner Ewok village trees. They were much, much bigger than I actually thought they were. So this is only one I actually cut in half because it was damaged. The other half is over in the G.I. Joe collection with Serpentor, but this half is down here and surrounded by the Ewoks I could find. So still looking for some characters. As many characters I can find from the film is what I'll be looking for. Here we have, so then, some sort of model trains. I think this is kind of what this is from. Some model train trees. I've got some piece of florist foam board under there. Got some hot glue. And then again, some sort of model bushes that I've cut down in different colours to try and make these bases. So I've then got my speeder bike sort of chase scene. If I can get some light in there, you see. So I've got two speeder bikes that I picked up. Well, I technically picked up 3 because Luke didn't come on one. So we've got 2 of the Biker Scout troopers chasing Luke down there, and one of the other troopers I think is over there having a fight. At the back we have the actual sort of bunker from Endor, which again I actually got that for free technically, because when I bought that I wasn't collecting 3 3/4 inch, so I sold the figure from it mint on card for more than the actual set cost. So that didn't actually cost me anything. Kind of regret that now though, because I do want that figure. So Chewie is at the back there with the Endor bunker. I do apologise about the shadows, but I had to turn the sort of light on to actually get in there. So I've got the 80 ST there, of course. Got that in a recent sale, I think, for about £85. I think that was reduced to. A little pricey, but still better than the £100 they actually wanted for it. So that is the Endor version with the mud on there. Han Solo, of course, is down in there with a stormtrooper. So I managed to army build a few stormtroopers in this scene. So that is my sort of handcrafted section. That is Endor. We got, as I say, the back of a Biker Scout there, and the actual pilot of the ship is there. So that is my Endor setup. At the back, I've gone for the Death Star scene. That's going to be really hard to try and focus in on, but we've got the Emperor, of course, on his throne, and the background piece of the window that came with that set. I got that reduced down in the Pulse sale for about £25. Then we got a really, really cool Darth Vader. If I can get I can try a little focus in there and a zoom. Yes, there we go. Look at that. So there is our boy Darth Vader. One of the best Darth Vaders I've actually had. His helmet does come off, completely removable. It's got the 2 pieces, and he's got his likeness underneath. So that is very nice to actually have there. So I fiddle about with my zoom. We've got a TIE fighter pilot at the back there. The Emperor's guard. There we go. That's probably the best way to get Emperor's Guard, one of the admirals of the Death Star. That's my Death Star at the back. And then over to the skiff scenes. So, of course, I do not have the biggest piece from this collection. I do not have a sail barge, because that was a HasLab many, many years ago. But I did manage to pick up a skiff on eBay for about £100. It wasn't too bad, I didn't think. So there's your boy Boba Fett. We can get some focus in there. The Return of the Jedi version, of course, of Boba Fett. And these are really, really detailed figures for the 3 3/4 inch. That's always put me off. I never thought these figures were that detailed back in the day. But of course, I was collecting in the sort of late 90s Power of the Force days. So they have really improved the figures, of course, since then. Great sort of paintwork detail on the back of the skiff there. You can see all the battle damage. And the fact that they've done a lot of the characters that were on the skiff, I've managed to put as many on as I can. Hopefully I've got them in the right places, but I probably haven't. So you can correct me in the comments there with people with better knowledge than me of exactly who should be who, all these background characters. Because of course with Black Series we don't really get background characters. So there's a look at Luke. So that is the version from Jabba's Palace. I've just taken the robe off there for Luke and try and focus on Han Solo again. I've just taken the jacket off to get the more accurate sort of look from the skiff. So as I pan back there, that is sort of shelf 1. So IKEA Kallax display. There you go. You can see it's sort of all there. And I'll sort of go in a bit for you. So that is sort of shelf number 1. Down into shelf number 2 then, of course, we have the Rancor. My beautiful little Rancor. Shout out to Bring Toys to Work, of course. Another massive Rancor fan out there. So Han in Carbonite is attached to the wall. And the Rancor is having a time of his life. So he's got the Rancor Keeper there. That is literally cost me £5 off eBay, because that is a Power of the Force version of the Rancor Keeper. Do excuse the old Ovosaurus there. It's getting right in the way from the Jurassic Park collection underneath. Then we got Luke, of course, that came with the Rancor. So that is the 3.75 inch Black Series version, I do believe, of the Rancor and Luke set. And he comes with a bone, the infamous bone we were going to get in the HasLab, but I've managed to get it in the 3 3/4 inch scale. And I did a bit of army building on the Gamorrean guards down there. So there's one there. And there's a better look at one outside the front of old Jabba's palace there. R2-D2 has made it. And here we go then. Here we go. The creme de la creme. The piece of the resistance. The Jabba's palace. Oh, I do like this thing. Okay, this was pricey. It's £220 from Hasbro Pulse. But it's pretty cool. So on the top, we've actually got good paintwork and good detailing. So if you want a much better look at it, do check out my review from a few months ago. But I've tried to sort of pack it full of all the characters I could find that were remotely in the Jabba's Palace scene. But of course, do let me know in the comments of all the other characters I'm going to need in here. So Jabba and Salacious Crumb on pre-order. But there's probably plenty more. I'm going to try and need to backtrack. Of course, no C-3PO, so I need to find a C-3PO. I did manage to win him on eBay, but he came damaged. Couldn't really fix him, so I sent him back. So there we are. We've got this little Cantina alien, because I'm sure one of those aliens was in that scene. Got the 4-pack that came out recently. Sort of Jabba's Buddies 4-pack, as I called it there. So I've got a few of the characters from there. We got the old monkey lizard on the roast in the back, is what I've gone for. I did manage to find, of course, Hut Slayer Leia, as she's known. If I can get a focus, it does not want to focus on her at all, but she is there because I thought that's a figure they're never going to redo, is it? So managed to get her on eBay loose for about £50. I think she was one of the most expensive figures to actually go in here. But I do like this. When Jabba's in here, I saw Jabba recently at the MCM London Comic Con. He was in the cabinet, the prototype version. And he does look utterly epic. As I say, not my best lighting in this video, but it is hard to try and get it on this particular shelf. But I think overall, I'm really quite impressed with these new sort of vintage collection figures. So I am actually enjoying this this collection quite a lot. So plenty of room to obviously expand and add more characters in. Just wish I had a sail barge, but of course that would be bigger than the entire shelf there. So if I come right back, you can see there the detail of both the displays together in what will be my 3 3/4 inch section. So into Jurassic Park down there. Then we got some G.I. Joes and some Super 7s down there. And 3 3/4 inch Marvel and Judge Dredd down there. But they've all fallen over. So I need to do a bit of rejigging here. So here's a sneaky look at the Black Series. I'll have to do a full video at some point. So this is my sort of prequels, Clone Wars sort of era shelf that I've just managed to put in. We've got room down there for Biker Mice from Mars, nothing to do with Star Wars, but that'll be coming. So I've kind of mixed all Lucasfilm properties into one. So Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford himself is going to be all over this collection, so he's in the corner. There's a TIE Fighter up there. There is the old big Millennium Falcon there. And then we just go through the original trilogy, basically. So we start off with the Tatooine scene and onto the Death Star from the A New Hope film. All the cards are on the back there. One example of each retro card. Into Hoth and the Empire Strikes Back. And then we go round into, again, literally Return of the Jedi. 3 3/4 is below the Return of the Jedi 6-inch collection. And again, more cards on there. Speeder bikes everywhere, all over the village trees there. Cards along the whole back. And now into the my massive section on the sequel films. Not very much at all. Tried to sell most of that, so it's down to about 8 figures. And into the sort of Ahsoka and Mando verse over in the corner there. So that's sort of my Star Wars overview. There is quite a lot of it, really. More than I thought, but I suppose that always is the way. So, and then back down into the 3 3/4 inch section. So that was just a sort of brief overview here on this sort of Saturday night upload. Just thought I'd get a quick video up tonight while I had a minute. So that is a look at the 3 3/4 inch Return of the Jedi collection from Star Wars, the vintage collection, and a sneak peek at the Black Series. So please, of course, do comment, like and subscribe. And I suppose it's that time of the year where top 10 videos need to start happening, so I need to put together some top 10 lists of all the collections. Think I might do a few different ones this year, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out if you could, and of course I'll see you on the next video.